to World of Warship Legends. This is Captain Ron Phillips. It's been a while, guys. How you been doing today? So, today we're just going to show you, going to go through this live real quick, see if anybody wants to comment on anything here. Hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys enjoyed, had a safe 4th of July weekend, although it is closer towards August than it was July 4th. But why do I say July 4th? Well, World of Warship Legends had a massive update this past month for the 4th of July, and they also included a Star Trek update. This is very, very strange. So, let's start off with, as you see here on the bottom, the Winged Admiral. Well, what is that all about? Well, we have a new commander. Don't mind these. These are the days I missed. But we have a new commander for the Americans. His name is Joseph Reeves. And let's see who this is. He has a football helmet for his base trait. Damage of bombs and torpedoes launched by aircraft at your ship. Sea detectability and air detectability. Now, he is a aircraft carrier commander, as far as I am aware. So, Joseph Reeves was a Navy Air Admiral. While still attending the Naval Academy, he became famous as a member of the Navy football team, both as a player and an inventor of the football helmet. Oh, so the man invented the football helmet. Nice. In the summer of 1898, he participated with distinction in the Battle of Santiago de Cuba as a crew member of the serving on battleship Oregon. This was followed by years of service on various ships and a return to the academy as an instructor and, simultaneously, a football coach. Captain Reeves was briefly in command of the USS St. Louis, and during World War I, while commanding battleship Maine, he participated in convoy operations in the Atlantic. In the early 1920s, Joseph Reeves graduated from the Naval War College and became one of the first officers to truly appreciate the prospects of naval aviation. After qualifying as a naval aviation observer, he raised his flag on USS Langley, the first U.S. aircraft carrier. As commander of the U.S. Navy's first carrier force, Reeves laid the foundation for carrier-based aircraft tactics. Artifact tactics. Listen to me. The culmination of his career was serving as U.S. Navy Commander-in-Chief in 1934. During World War II, the veteran sailor returned to action and worked on committees responsible for supplying the U.S. Armed Forces until the end of hostilities. Interesting. Interesting. So that's the 3-week update. Is a whole week worth of daily rewards there in order to get these weekly rewards and to build up eventually get him after you complete these 3. So I've got 2 days left. I just did today. You can see the white arrow under it. Got 2 left here, and then I got 4 days that I missed, but that costs 250 doubloons for each day, and I only have enough for 2. So I'm not worried about it. I don't really use aircraft carriers very much, so I'm not worried about it. Now, as I said before we get to the title of this, the Star Trek, we had the 4th of July. Now, we had the Winged Admiral. He's an aircraft carrier captain. So, but we already have the first aircraft carrier, the USS Langley. That's in Tier 3. So what could possibly be in the campaign? It is the Enterprise. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. After all this time, I've been complaining with friends about this game for the console. Where are some of these classic ships? Where, like especially some of these aircraft carriers? Where's the Enterprise? Where's the Hornet? Where's the Yorktown? Well, where's that one? The Reuben James. Where are some of these classic ships from like, well, Now we've got the USS Enterprise from World War II here, the Grey Ghost herself. Isn't that just lovely? And she is a big one. She's a big girl. What is that, 6 propellers? No, 4. Okay. But as you can see here, in the background, we are on a different USS Enterprise. And we just got snared by Q. So what in the devil is going on here? Well, let's step back a bit and go to the store. So, we have Star Trek Legends. Star Trek and World of Warships has decided to fuse together for a little while. Launch into a stellar adventure with new content from the Star Trek universe, famous vessels, legendary commanders, and more. What they should say is Star Trek The Next Generation, because this is all from Star Trek The Next Generation. As you can see there, I see Spock, I see Captain Picard, and we have a Klingon and a Romulan there. That Romulan there, that's Denise Crosby. That's her character, Empress Sela, that only showed up in the Unification episode of The Next Generation, along with Leonard Nimoy returning as Spock. And there's that knife-carrying, devilishly smiling Klingon there on the left. That would be Chancellor Gowron himself. And if you guys have seen some of my previous videos not too long ago, when we were in the Klingon Civil War on Star Trek Online, he decided to pop in there, and oh, did he have his crazy eyes again. So, what have we got going on here with Star Trek? Well, we've got crates in the shape of a replicator. How thoughtful. So we have Klingon power here. What is this? This is a Tier 6. This is the Bortus. And we actually have a Klingon Bird of Prey themed cruiser for the British. Let's take a look at this puppy. Oh yeah. You could see the Romulan Bird of Prey stuff instantly. Oh, the green, the red, especially right there. The wings come down. And yeah, this is very, very interesting. And of course, the back. Yeah, how interesting. Yeah, all right. Almost barely see. You got 3 guns there, 3 guns there. Oh, she's got 4 sets of 3. Okay, so formidable there. Let's see. Only armor-piercing shells, though. Ooh, no fire. Decent torpedoes. Okay. There's some decent armor. Ironclad, above average armor, greater heal, big and flammable. Fire set on this ship lasts longer due to her large size and high caliber guns. Well, that's not very nice. So, during the Klingon Civil War, the Vorcha-class cruiser, the IKS Bortus, was Chancellor Gowron's flagship, and the Enterprise encountered this vessel on several occasions. Like most Klingon starships, she was excellent at evasion and maneuvers. Now, it's very interesting that they say that this is off of the Vorcha-class cruiser, because this is not a Vorcha. That is a Klingon Bird of Prey right there. I'm sorry. They themed this more off of a Klingon Bird of Prey than they did a Vorcha-class cruiser. I'm going to disagree with them. I hope they realize that. I mean, granted, if they actually were intending on doing a Klingon Bird of Prey, it would have been a destroyer and not a cruiser. But I digress. I'm not going to argue with these guys, but this is not a Warship class cruiser. This looks more like a Klingon bird of prey to me. So, phooey. You guys need to do this better. Kapla. So what do we have here next? Next we have the Vulcan Grace, the Tier 6 battleship for the Takir. And that is for the French. And as you can see, I already have this. I won this. I actually got this out of one of the free crates that I was given for the replicator crates for Star Trek because I went through the list there, and you saw you have to pay a whole bunch of thousands of doubloons to get one, but they're starting to offer for everybody to where you could buy some either using your global XP, which is that number up there, the very tippy top that's in green in the very center, or your yellow, or not yellow, but your white coin credits, which I have 4.8 million right there. And I was able to get this. Now this is definitely a Vulcan ship because it has the ring around it, and it has that rustic kind of like orangish red, kind of like rustic brown color. So this is definitely a Vulcan ship for sure. Very nice. And I do like how this sucker sits really low in the water, almost like it's, you know, not for a battleship. This thing sits really low in the water, so that's kind of neat. So not bad, not bad. Really good armor in the center there. Really good armor. That's where the Citadel is. Really good armor. So, ironclad, of course. Secondary reach is better, and extended sonar. Like most Vulcan ships, the specifications and capabilities of the Takir are largely classified, except formidable defenses, firepower, and technological surprises. Which means you don't know what makes her tick, but she will pack a punch if you try her. Yes, indeed. So what else have we got here? Ah, now, the Romulans. They did not give a ship, but they gave a paint scheme to the Tier 6 Akatsuki for the Japanese, which I find strange. And if you're going to see why here, I don't agree with this at all. Again, very nice, looks very good, but this is off of the Dideridex Romulan Warbird. And if you guys have watched Star Trek The Next Gen or anything Star Trek, you guys know if this was a Romulan Dideridex battle cruiser, this sucker is not a destroyer. Those things are bigger than, I mean, the Dideridex Warbird is bigger than the Enterprise D. And we decided to give this paint scheme to a destroyer. If anything, you guys should have, Wargaming, if anything, you should have given the Klingon scheme to a destroyer, which is more their style, because it looks more like a bird of prey. And you should at least would have given the Romulan paint style to a cruiser. That would at least make it a little bit more sense. But whatever. And finally, we have the Enterprise. Now, when you win the Enterprise off of the campaign here, you have the option to buy this paint scheme, where it will theme it looking like the Enterprise from the Next Generation. And you can see it's got the great, nice big deflector on the bottom, on the front there. USS Enterprise NCC 1701. And you can see here oh yeah, there's the bridge there, all those windows that you always see in the Enterprise. There's the bridge up top there. There it is. But, oh, look, and here we go. It's got the warp nacelles here, right here in the back. All this nice curved stuff here. It's 1701D. Now look at the planes. The planes are actually shaped as the Peregrine fighters from Star Trek. And from what I understand, when you fly these puppies in a battle, they will keep that shape and they will look like Peregrine fighters from the show. Hardy har har. Very, very interesting. Looks really nice. I wish I could get the Enterprise. I don't know if I will. Oh, there's a close-up of that big eye-looking deflector. That's nice. Cool. Alright. This looks nice. That's 1701D right there. Excellent. So, and as you can see, along with the ships, we get their commanders. And I was fortunate to get, it says Commander Picard. We all damn well know it's a Captain Picard. And there was a mission thread that you can do to where you get him for free. And let's take a look at him. So I've already leveled him up a little bit. So he's got his base trait, Make It So, where his bombers and torpedo bombers get added HP. And he has his last one here, Engage. Bomb dispersion radius of dive bombers minus 2%. So it basically means a better chance to hit than anything, which is nice. So, the commander bio. Jean-Luc Picard is the quintessential Starfleet captain. Competent and experienced, an explorer first and defender when necessary. He joined Starfleet in 2323 and has decades of experience on board and in command of starships. Most notably, Picard served as captain of the USS Enterprise, NCC 1701D, for many years. 7 to be exact. Picard has played a key role in several historical events, including First Contact with the Borg. He has served as arbiter for succession for the Klingon Empire, exposed Romulan plots against the Federation, and has cemented his place among the most notable figures of the 24th century. Now, he has a voiceover. Unfortunately, this is not Patrick Stewart.
Copy that. I need some help. To make a wise decision, we need more data. It was a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah, that is not Patrick Stewart. Wouldn't have that been nice if they actually got Patrick Stewart? Or at least like some quips or some clips from the show or something like that. I mean, he did a load of voiceovers for multiple Star Trek games. I mean, it'd be like, hey CBS, hey Paramount, do you think we could borrow like some that you guys didn't use? We'll pay you, but I guess not. So who else do we have here other than Captain Picard? We have Spock. Good old Spock. Live long and prosper indeed. So what have we got here? His is live long and prosper. Total HP restored by the repair party per 1% HP lost. Oh, so add even more HP by the repair party depending on how low you've been, or how, but yeah, the more you've been hit, the more HP you get back. That's really nice. That is very nice. I don't know if he has another one. Fascinating. Each main battery shell hit resulting in damage increases secondary battery damage to the same ship up to 100%. And that, so you got shell damage and shell grouping, the same thing. That's nice. That's pretty good. So it's the bio here. Spock is a pivotal figure in the history of Starfleet, most notably serving as first officer aboard the USS Enterprise under Captain James T. Kirk. Born half Vulcan and half human, Spock served as a vital ambassador and representative for and between two of the founding members of the Federation. Among his many accomplishments, his role in the adoption of the Khitomer Accords, which finally brought peace to the long conflict between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. By the end of the 24th century, his long and distinguished record had earned him the nickname the Great Spock. That's the first time I ever heard that before. Now, I have not heard this voiceover, and I'm kind of afraid.
Set a smokescreen. We will show them our capabilities. We will use our skills to shape the future.
No.
Proceeding.
No. Oh boy. Oh well, that's okay. Now, here we go. Remember this toothy, happy-looking fella here I was talking about early? Chancellor Gowron of the Klingon High Council. And let's see what he's got here. You're welcome to try. Incoming damage from projectile to your cruiser while her secondary battery is aiming or shooting. Okay, that's an odd one. And the Sword of Kahless. Main battery shells that travel less than 7 kilometers deal extra damage. Oh my goodness, he wants you up there close. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's interesting. So what's his commander bio? Gowron was originally an outsider in the politics of the Klingon Empire, but that quickly changed in 2367 when Chancellor Kimpek died. The Arbiter of Succession, Captain Picard, chose Gowron as the next Chancellor. His political opponents in the House of Duras were quick to confront him, but they were quickly defeated by Gowron after the Federation revealed Romulan connections with House Duras. Gowron was a key player during the Cardassian War. Misled by an impostor, he sparked a new war with the Federation, but he renewed the Khitomer Accords once the impostor was exposed. His efforts were crucial in the success of Operation Return, a turning point in the Dominion War. Okay, now, I'm curious to hear what this guy sounds like. Is it Robert O'Reilly? I don't think it is. I mean, we're already 0 for 2. But let's see. Let's see what we have to do. I mean, I know that World of Warships, Wargaming is probably not going to be able to get the actual actors, but let's see how this Klingon sounds.
Coming your way.
Ooh.
Good show. Show no mercy. This will be a day to remember. Wilco. Good luck, my comrades.
Well, that's not Gowron, but that sounds Klingon enough to me. That's not bad. A little high-pitched for a Klingon, though, but that's okay. So, we have one last one. And, of course, ladies. Empress Sela. Denise Crosby has returned. So we have the Singularity Core, torpedo speed, and engine boost cooldown time. Okay. And the last one, destroy or be destroyed. Maximum destroyer speed and destroyer main battery shell grouping. Of course. I mean, who wants to use a damn destroyer as a gunboat anyway? And especially not the Japanese. The Japanese one you just can't do. Or is this her? Tall Shi'ar Cloak. There's her second one. Torpedo detectability, sea detectability range, but unfortunately the smoke screen doesn't last as long. Of course. So much for surprise attack. Empress Sela is a sly and dedicated commander of the Romulan Empire who has gone to great efforts to sabotage the relationship between the two great Romulan enemies, the Klingon Empire and the United Federation of Planets. By brainwashing a member of Captain Picard's crew, she orchestrated the assassination attempt of a Klingon governor in order to destabilize the Klingon Empire in 2367. Her attempts were thwarted by Captain Picard and the crew of the USS Enterprise. The next year, she attempted to invade Vulcan under the guise of peace talks and reunification, which would have been disastrous to Spock's efforts had she succeeded. And of course, they do not mention anything about Tasha Yar, her mother, but that's okay. How does Sela sound?
Hang in there. Help is on the way. Stop wasting your time and support me.
That sounds like Denise Crosby.
That was great. I thank you.
Oh my God, did they actually get Denise Crosby?
Those who own information own the world.
I wonder. Very, very interesting. So that's pretty much it for the a pretty nice decked out thing for the Star Trek update here. Replicator theme crates. We got ships to go with the update. We've got a skin to go with the Enterprise. Commanders from Star Trek. Of course, it's all just the next generation. I mean, yes, Spock is original series, but this is his next generation episode, kind of like outfit here, so. But that's okay. Now we have Independence Day. And we have gone weird. We have gone to a hybrid American ship. I'm trying to be nice here. What's my oh, I have no Imperium here. Yeah. So I'm just going through the store here. But let me show you this here. We have now the early access. I hope you guys are seeing this right. That's absolutely correct. We came out this update for the 4th of July with a hybrid battleship aircraft carrier model. Oh my God. Yeah, these things are not for the faint of heart, and they are hard to use. And we have one starting from tier 6, tier 7, tier 8, and then a legendary. This is the Louisiana, the legendary. And I went on the wrong thing there. Oh my goodness. So, and they have aerial torpedoes. Now this is ridiculous, guys. These aerial torpedoes, it's like torpedoes that actually they just drop them out of the plane. They don't go through the water. They almost drop them like bombs. And when you see them in game, believe it or not, they almost look like orange trash bags. It is just very ridiculous. But this Louisiana, the whole mishmash of them here. I'll show you the tier 6 one I have, the Connecticut here. But this is just an awkward, weird looking thing here, having a aircraft carrier deck on top of a battleship. I mean, I guess they were actually thinking about seriously doing this. I don't know, we're going to read about this here. So, this was one of the options for completing the Montana-class battleships. A flight deck of at least 350 feet long was required to create a hybrid battleship carrier, which could only be done by removing the third turret. It was also suggested that the fourth turret be replaced with a quadruple gun turret to preserve her combat power. That would be here, right here. And a lot of... yeah, interesting. Year of design, 1949. Interesting. And this, to me, the guys, this design just looks wonky. But let's show you the, oh yes, they have a tier 8 Vallejo or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what this is here. But they won't let me see the ship, unfortunately, so, or maybe I can. Here we go. Here we go. So this is a little American cruiser here. I've never heard of this one before, and it's got one of those rolling guns. That's almost kind of weird looking, almost like they crank up almost. Very weird looking guns. And 4 propellers for a little ship here. And she has semi-armor. She has sap shells, like the Italians. That's freaky. Along with armor piercing. Huh. She has fantastic AA defense. decent armor for a cruiser. Reloader, agile, and nimble aim. A project variant that preceded the creation of the Worcester-class cruisers, Remain armament comprises of 10 6-inch dual-purpose guns housed in 5 turrets. Okay, so this is one that probably didn't leave the R&D division here. Interesting. Very interesting. So let's go back here to this tier 6 here, and I'll show you what we got here. Let's move over here to tier 6, and we'll start with the Connecticut. Alright, Connecticut. Alright. So this is the Connecticut here, and you see she's got 4 guns in one turret, 4 guns in the next turret. So she's got 8 guns on her, but she's got nothing behind her. So you've really got to be careful how you use this Connecticut because she's got no rear guns. If you guys have like the battleship like the Dunkirk, you kind of want to use her as that almost. And flying the planes with these hybrid battleships are extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. I have a heck of a time trying to figure it out too. But, I mean, if you guys just look at this thing, it is just awkward and weird to me. It's just, yeah. So, let's go ahead and look at the Nebraska. This is the Tier 7. And again, you can see the sunlight thing there, early access. This ship cannot be purchased for game currency while she is in early access. Some ships that are marked with the early access sign can be earned by participating in the current game activities and opening special containers, which I have. And I was lucky enough to get the Connecticut out of one of the battleship boxes. So this is the Nebraska. Again, same thing. No rear turret. So you kind of want to use this thing like the Dunkirk or the Strasbourg. That's the upper version of the Dunkirk, the Strasbourg. She's only got guns in the front. And I don't know why a Tier 7 has 2 less guns than a Tier 6 version of it. I don't agree with that at all. I really don't. So, oh, that's a nice red bit of armor right there on the Citadel where the bridge is. She's got above average HP. Unfortunately, a big target and an airstrike. Yeah. When designing the North Carolina class battleships, the F project was developed, a combination of a battleship and aircraft carrier. However, the preliminary design didn't include a flight deck. The aircraft was supposed to be launched by catapult, and the air group was extremely small. If necessary, the project could be reworked into a full-fledged hybrid battleship carrier with a hangar transferred to the stern and a flight deck created. Design 1944. And I just realized I did not read the Connecticut for you guys. I apologize. So this was in design in 1940. A hypothetical design of a battle carrier combining the ideas of various hybrid ships developed in the U.S. in the second half of the 1930s. The composition of the ship's main battery with 8 14-inch guns and 2 turrets corresponds to the Scheme F armament considered during the design of the North Carolina class. The general layout, with a hangar and a flight deck at the aft, is based on the 1939 flight deck cruiser project. Okay. So we're going to go back to the Nebraska, and we're going to go skip ahead, and we're going to look at the Tier 8 version of this, the Delaware. You see what the Delaware looks like, since we already saw the Louisiana. Now the Delaware at least has a turret in the back, only a double, I don't care. And it's got a really small flight deck as far as I'm concerned. Very small. Very small. And I don't think as good armor as the Nebraska, really. Interesting. So, in the 1940s and 50s, the option of transforming the Iowa-class battleships into hybrid battleship carriers was considered. A flight deck at least 350 feet long would be needed to be installed, and it would also be necessary to preserve the ship's combat power. Both requirements could be met by relocating the third turret to the ship's stern and replacing it with a twin gun turret to compensate for the weight. Yeah, because you don't want this thing to be too heavy. Very interesting. Very interesting. It is just wonky to me. It is just weird. Making a battleship with an aircraft carrier deck on it. But from what I've heard talking to some of my friends who are former armed forces, they said, yeah, this was actually a thing until the aircraft carrier was able to hold its own right there after Pearl Harbor there with the Battle of Midway. Otherwise, they were talking about shipping out and building battleships with a flight deck on them. I guess this was a very serious considered idea until after the Battle of Midway, and they saw that the aircraft carriers were able to hold their own against the Japanese. Still, though, I would not be the least bit surprised if one day they decide to make one of these puppies. It would be interesting to see. It would be interesting to look at. But I don't know. To me, I mean, it looks wonky to me. But I mean, only just because I don't see how those little planes are going to get off that little flight deck. I really don't. So, I mean, I know these. I do not believe these planes are up to scale exactly. I think they're a little bit too big. But I still don't see how that little bit of a deck is going to get all those planes. And yeah. I mean, I don't know. Compared to the rowboat, yeah, no, these planes are a little bit too big, I think. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on the scale. I could be completely wrong. But, yeah, this is just weird and wonky to me. Really is. Really is. So, oh, and we have a new arcade game gameplay. 5-on-5 instead of the standard where it can be up to 9 versus 9. It's exactly almost like standard, but it's a mix with the AI. If you're in a party of 3 or 4 and you decide to play arcade and nobody else shows up, they will stick you in a arcade game and they'll have AI replace players who didn't show up. So it's almost like versus AI, but you get just that nudge extra of money and experience points for your ship as you would in standard. And instead of 9-on-9, it is not 9-player teams, it is 5-player teams. So that could make all the difference in when it comes to victory or defeat for some folks. So that's very interesting that they added this little new game mode here. And another thing here, they decided to go ahead and do a training mode where you could try and figure out a new boat that you get, figure out how to work it, get the kinks worked out of it, and you will not gain or lose any credits or experience. I mean, because after you take each boat out in a battle, they try, in their way of trying to make it realistic, they try to take out money for how much it would keep the upkeep to repair the ship. Yeah. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about here. Service record. Recent battles. Okay, so as you can see here, under where it says victory, I won 55,000 credits, 844 ship XP. The green is 65, that's the global XP, and the blue XP 910, that's for the commanders. And it shows you how well you did on your team. This is what I'm talking about. If you look at the left here, this is the credits that you earned in the battle, which was 55,000, but you have a ship service expense, which is 25,000, and I'm also in a fleet, so I get some of that back. So in actuality, I only earned 33,900 credits instead of 55,000. And the bigger the ship, the bigger the service. the more damage, the more the service as well. So yes, that's why if you want to just stick around in AI, that's fine when you've got some of these smaller boats and some of these smaller tiers. But when you get to the bigger ones, be forewarned, you're gonna lose some money playing AI. Unfortunately, I mean, even if you lose tremendously in a standard battle, at least you'll get more than what you would in the AI version. So, alright guys, well that'll do it here. I hope you guys enjoyed this little 40-minute episode here. I don't know why I went live. I didn't think I was going to get through it this fast actually, but that's okay. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to the Captain Ron Phillips channel, and stick around for more to be coming out here. I intend to go, since we've seen Star Trek on here, I intend to get back onto Star Trek Online and get that puppy rolling again here. I would be up a little bit longer, but I'm starting to work overnight again, and it is like 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to be heading to bed here soon. But fear not, Star Trek Online will be the next video out after this here, where we'll be playing a brand new storyline that is still in the works on Star Trek Online. We will meet up again with Captain Harry Kim on the Rhode Island. I do believe he's on the Rhode Island. And coming to Star Trek Online for the very first time, Nicole DeBoer, who played Esri Dax on Deep Space Nine, who replaced Jadzia Dax, but she has the Dax symbiote in her. She will finally join us on Star Trek Online in her very own starship, and apparently we're going to meet some weird, souped-up, odd version of the Borg. I don't know. I do not know what's going to happen. I'm just going off the skin of my teeth here. It's been a while since I looked at it. I've been away from home for over a month, having some stuff to take care of, so that's why I haven't really been on here very much. I apologize, everybody. But yeah, we will be back with Star Trek Online here probably tomorrow, the next day or so, and we will see how this new storyline starts here with Harry Kim and the return of Captain Dax on her very own ship. And yeah, this is going to be fantastic here. So I hope you guys have a great day. This is Captain Ron Phillips. I'll see you guys later, and everybody take care.